So okay guys, after a quite a long wait, Time Warner Cable's TWC Maxx internet is finally here. Internet speeds that are really fast, up to 300 megabits per second. Whereas in regular TWC areas, the max you can get is like 50 megabits per second down. Yes, it's amazing. I'm on the Ultimate 200 package, 200 megabits per second down, 20 megabits per second up. Extremely fast internet compared to what I used to have. It all started back about a few weeks ago. Received that annual "we're going up on your bill" notification, so I called in to Time Warner Cable and said, "Hey, this ain't right. We need to get something figured out here." So they were able to get me, services for the same price as I've been paying. And they also were able to tack on a 12-month upgrade to the Time Warner Cable Extreme Internet package at no additional charge. So I went from 15 megabits per second down, 1 meg up, that was the standard internet, to 30 down, 5 up, which is former Extreme. So basically, I went from standard to Extreme Internet and got these speeds, and then roughly about 2 weeks later the new speeds came into effect. And let me tell you guys, it was a rough road getting everything set up and ready to go, because it involved replacing the modem and the router, because the Surfboard 6121 modem can't handle the faster speeds, and the existing Netgear, I think it was a WNDR or WNR 300, I guess. Let me see if I have it somewhere around here. It's not in here, but basic wireless and 300 router only had a 10100 switch built into it, so that was a limiting factor. Let me tell you guys, it was a rough battle, because initially, I went out and picked up the new router. It was a used router from the computer store. WNDR 4000 Netgear router with gigabit switch built into it. And once the speeds went into effect, I went to Walmart to pick up a replacement modem. The thing is, Time Warner Cable's approved modems is a little misleading in a way. If you don't actually look at their approved list for certain speeds, you go to Walmart and look at or Best Buy or whatever, and look at the modems, and you look at the information on the back. For example, the SP6141 it states, I think it was up to 383 megabits per second down, something like that. It was somewhere within the 300 megabits per second range. Yeah, basically, according to those specs, it should easily handle Time Warner Cable's Max Internet package. Well, got the modem home, got it activated and everything, and still noticed the speeds were nowhere near what they were supposed to be. There was like between 30 and 70 megabits per second down, and like 5 to 10 megs up. So called up Time Warner Cable and they said, well, that modem's not on their approved list for the Ultimate 200 plan. And I'm like, well, it says it can do well over 200 megabits per second down. It's like, well, you have to look at our approved modems list, and sure enough, the 6141 is only approved for Time Warner Cable's 100 megabits per second download speed. So that's amazing. So had to return that modem to Walmart, where I bought it from, and they were out of stock on the 6183. So I went to Best Buy. Best Buy wanted $130 something for the thing, but fortunately they price matched it to Walmart's price, which was like about $90 something. So yeah, that's one of the big downsides of owning your own modem rather than leasing the modem, is during the time that something that goes wrong with the modem, or you have to upgrade the modem, it's on you to pay for it. But at the same time, the modem does pay for itself over the course of like a year. The existing 6121 modem had easily paid for itself a long time ago. So got that replacement modem in, and still was not getting the right speeds. So yeah, here is a look at the new modem and the router. So as I mentioned, got this new modem installed, got it activated with Time Warner, and still was not getting the 200 megabits per second down. and I got on the phone with their tech support, and basically involved bypassing the router itself, hooked the BlackMax straight to the modem, and got exactly what they were advertising. Between a little over 200 megabits per second down and 20 megabits up. So the router itself was throttling the internet bandwidth. When it should have been like 200, it was throttling it down to like 30 or 40. Interestingly enough, the existing router I had was actually doing about 70 or 80 megabits per second down, which is more respectable for a 10100 switch router, but this is a gigabit router. And it advertises it can easily handle the speeds that I'm getting. So anyways, when I had got this router, I had almost immediately put DD-WRT onto the router, as I have good experience with that firmware on my old Linksys WRT54G and the Netgear router that's over here, which let me go and get you that model number. It's this guy right here. It is a WNR 2000 V2. Yeah, I was way off on my model. WNR 2000 V2. That's what I had. So, it's the only time that DD-WRT has ever let me down. I'll be honest with you. I was able to flash this router back to the stock Netgear firmware. It involved some pretty sophisticated stuff. It involved, purposely bricking the router by initiating a telnet session and logging into the router and wiping, doing a wipe Linux command, wiping everything off the unit. Basically, and then rebooting it. So you end up with a bricked router, and then using TFTP to send the Netgear firmware to the thing. And that finally got back up and running with the Netgear firmware. And sure enough, with the Netgear firmware, this thing performs beautifully. It does not throttle the internet's bandwidth at all. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, last week when I had initially got the 6141 modem, I called in the Time Warp cable to get it activated, and the lady over the phone, I gave her the MAC address for the unit. She punched it in. Things weren't working, so she transferred me up to Tier 3 support. They said that their system was down from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. for scheduled maintenance, and only some people got the email notification. So I was without internet for probably 12 to 14 hours, overnight and then through the course of the next day, because I had to call in again to get the internet back up and running. So yeah, a combination of several things. Time Warp cable as always. Something has to get screwed up somewhere, and the combination of this Netgear router with the DD-WRT. That was the only time I've ever been let down by DD-WRT. I'm pretty disappointed with it about that, because I like DD-WRT. It's a good firmware, but unfortunately in this case, this router performs better with the stock firmware, the Netgear firmware. So anyways, there's you a better look at this router. I'm not really all that pleased with the wireless transfer performance, as you saw on the speed test on the laptop. It was only getting like 40 megabits per second down. That was the limitation of the Wi-Fi. Now that laptop at work, with their extremely fast internet and a wireless access point not too far away, I can get up to 300 megabits per second down on that laptop. So yeah, I mean, it's this router apparently doesn't have very good Wi-Fi transmission. Now this is actually a wireless N750 dual band, 2.4 gigahertz, N300, and the 5 gigahertz N450. It may just be, it could be just a couple of different things, having to go through the wall, things like that, how that can interfere with your wireless transmission. But anyways, yeah. After some technical difficulties, we finally have got the faster internet here. And this is again TWC Maxx, and it's not. And this internet package, the Ultimate 200, is not the fastest. If you had Ultimate Internet on the standard, I'm sorry, you had not standard internet, but on the previous pack, on the previous plans, if you had the old Ultimate plan, which was 50 down, 5 up, you now have 300 down and I think 30 megabits per second up. I'll look at that sheet of paper again. It's actually 300 megabits per second down, 20 megabits per second up. But yeah, it's awesome. I have to say, it's really awesome. It's official. Or at least in the Charlotte metropolitan area, TWC Maxx is here. So anyways, this is fair to share it with you guys. Now I'm sure some of you guys who have Google Fiber right now are probably laughing your butts off, but hey, this 200 megabits per second internet is a lot nicer than what I had, I must say. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.